No matter where you look, the natural world is full of magic and wonder. From unexpected events to strange creatures, unusual formations, stunning vistas to eyeball-popping slideshow of natural phenomenon. Majestic mountains and sparkling seas always attract travelers, but sometimes nature has a bigger trick up her sleeve. Mother Nature never fails to surprise us with something extraordinary and unusual from time to time. Breathtaking beauty, cascading waterfalls, snow-capped mountains, and pristine blue rivers are a common sight. However, there will always be news about something completely different that will surely grab your eyeballs. The bizarre phenomena will surely leave your mouth wide open in awe and ignite the explorer in you. So join me for today's video and prepare to be amazed as we will be watching such 10 unusual natural phenomenon around the world. Frozen bubbles, Canada. Spectacular yet a dangerous sight, frozen bubbles can be seen in winters at Abraham Lake in Alberta, Canada. They look otherworldly, like flying saucers that dropped into the water and froze, or ancient, ice-encapsulated jellyfish. In fact, these icy circles are frozen methane bubbles, pockets of gas that, when trapped underwater and frozen, form a spectacular landscape. The phenomenon occurs when methane gas gets trapped underwater, freeze, and form otherworldly visuals. These gas bubbles are created when dead leaves, grass and animals fall into the water, sink and are eaten by bacteria that excrete methane. The gas is released as bubbles that transform into tens of thousands of icy white disks when they come into contact with frozen water. It's a stunning, but potentially dangerous sight. This potent greenhouse gas not only warms the planet, but also is highly flammable. Come spring, when the ice melts, the methane bubbles pop and fizz in a spectacular release, but if anyone happens to light a match nearby, the masses of methane will ignite into a giant explosion. Curious travelers can see these gassy hiccups in lakes across Canada's Banff National Park, or in the Arctic Ocean off Siberia, where researchers have found gargantuan gas bubbles as large as 900 m across. Blood Falls, Antarctica. As the name suggests, Blood Falls is a waterfall which slowly pours scarlet blood-red water into a river. It was first seen in the year 1911 in eastern part of Antarctica, in the McMurdo Dry Valley. The site is a perfect backdrop for a horror film, creepy, mysterious, and of course bloody at sight to behold. Previously, it was believed that red algae were causing the water to change its color and turn blood red. Though this hypothesis was never proved. The trickling crimson liquid isn't blood, however. Nor is it water dyed by red algae, as early Antarctica pioneers first speculated. The mystery of Blood Falls was long-standing and was finally solved in 2017. Thanks to research conducted by the University of Alaska Fairbanks, the true origin of the so-called blood was revealed to be oxidized iron in brine salt water, as reported by Forbes. About 2 million years ago, a hypersaline body of water became trapped beneath Taylor Glacier, isolated from light, oxygen and heat. As the salt water trickles through a fissure in the glacier, it reacts with the oxygen in the air to create the spectacular, rust-hued cascade. This is the same procedure which caused iron to turn red due to rusting. It's a visual and scientific wonder, and this creepy yet fascinating phenomenon is accessible only by helicopter from McMurdo Station or Scott Base, or cruise ship in the Ross Sea. Kawah Ijen Lake, Indonesia. Travelers flock to the Indonesian island of Java to see the magnificent Kawah Ijen volcano, but what they don't expect to find is the stunning turquoise-hued caldera lake at the volcano's summit. To add to the drama, bright, citron-colored stones and billows of white gases surround the 1 km wide aquamarine lake in a spectacular show. One element is responsible for the entire, striking scene is sulfur. The magma chamber below the volcano pours sulfuric gases into the lake. Combined with a high concentration of dissolved metals, the gases turn the water a brilliant shade of blue. They also render the Ijen Crater Lake the world's largest, highly acidic lake, with a pH of 0.5. That same chamber blasts a continuous stream of sulfuric gas from lakeside fumaroles that swirl around the lake. When the gas condenses and falls to the ground, it dyes the lake's surrounding stones a shocking shade of electric yellow. Hydrogen chloride released from Ijen volcano mixed with the lake and turned it into an acidic monstrosity that it is today, and what makes this place even more stunning, especially at night, is shots of sulfuric gases that combust into glints of bright blue upon contact with air. Intrepid travelers can join 3-hour hikes to the bank of the crater to experience the lake in person. Light pillars, USA, Canada, Arctic. Weather phenomena are the most unique ones. Light pillars are one of them. They look otherworldly, like beams of light coming from an extraterrestrial spacecraft. Narrow light paths are visible extending from the sky, usually in the Arctic, and also some places in the US and Canada, where it's extremely cold. This illusion is created when cold air turns the moisture in the air to crystals. The crystals then slowly descend towards the ground. When lights from surroundings such as streetlights hit the crystals, the effect results in a beautiful, thin and tall light illusion. Sky mirror, Malaysia. Twice a month, during the new moon and full moon period, tourists can see a clear reflection of the sky in the waters of Sasaran Beach. This natural phenomenon occurs because the tides are the lowest during these 2 days. The smooth sand and minimal water level create such an incredible sight. Also known as the mirror of the sky, this shallow water beach is an amazing place to click pictures. Hence, making the island a perfect travel destination for your next holiday. You can also find baby clams in abundance at this beach. The secret island can be accessed by a 30-minute boat ride, as it is located off the coast. Turquoise ice, Russia. Lake Baikal in Russia is a gem of a lake, quite literally in fact. It is located in the southern part of eastern Siberia in Russia, is an incredible natural wonder of the world that one can only hope to visit at least once in their lifetime. It's not just the oldest freshwater lake on Earth, at 20 to 25 million years old, it's also one of the largest and deepest, holding an astounding 1/5 of the world's freshwater. In the winter, for about 5 months or from January to May, the lake freezes over, but the water is so clear that, from the surface, you can see an astounding 130 feet below you. A photographic-worthy natural phenomenon occurs around a very specific time of year, March. Wind, temperature differences, frost and sun in the ice crust cause cracks and ice hummocks to form. Transparent and shining in a turquoise color, these masses of broken ice look like shards of glass rising into the sky. They are caused by the slow and unequal pressure in the main body of the packed ice, as well as by the unequal structure and temperature. Now that's one for the bucket list. Hidden Beach, Mexico. Would you believe me if I tell you a bomb blast in Mexico resulted in a hidden beach? It's a vacationer's dream, a secret beach tucked away from the masses, with shade, sun and pristine water. And this dream comes true at Playa del Amor, more commonly known as Hidden Beach, on one of the Marietta Islands off the coast of Mexico. Located only a few miles off Mexico's coast, is now every lover's dream destination, secluded and offbeat. The unlikely source of this magical little secret is a bomb blast. Mexico began testing bombs in the uninhabited Marietta Islands in the early 1900s, resulting in a gaping hole in the surface of one of the islands. Over time, tides filled the hole with sand and water, creating a secluded watery Eden where determined beach bums can swim, sunbathe, and kayak largely out of sight. To get there, you must ride an hour-long boat. Once you land on the island, you have to swim or paddle through the waters to reach the secluded area. Playa del Amor, literally Lover's Beach, is invisible from the outside, but visitors can access it through a 24 long tunnel that links the secluded beach to the ocean. Who knew bomb blasts could result in such picturesque sights? Pink Lake Hiller, Australia. Fly over Western Australia for a rare visual treat, Nestled among dense emerald green woodlands surrounded by the deep blue of the Southern Ocean, are a series of lakes in a shocking shade of bubblegum pink. Blue lakes are just too mainstream. One of the most well-known is Lake Hillier. It is an oddity in Australia, because the water is, to be more accurate, bubblegum pink. This striking lake is 600 meters in length and 250 meters in width on the edge of Middle Island in the Recherche Archipelago off Western Australia's south coast. Surrounded by a thin ring of sand and an expansive forest of papaver and eucalyptus trees, the rosy pink lake punctuates a stunning landscape. This natural phenomenon was discovered in 1802. But even more surprising than its Pepto-Bismol shade is that nobody seems to be able to definitively explain its distinctive color. Possible causes include the presence of green algae that can accumulate high levels of beta-carotene, a red-orange pigment, Halorchia, a type of microorganism that appears reddish in large blooms, or a high concentration of pink brine prawn. Most tourists admire the chromatic splendor of Lake Hillier from a helicopter or plane ride. For on-the-ground visitors, there's an added treat. Lake Hillier is highly saline, but the water isn't toxic, so pack your swimsuit and go for a swim. Thanks to its high salinity, you'll bob like a cork, just so make sure you don't drink it accidentally. Rolling Stones, USA. Who knew there was another meaning to the word Rolling Stones, and that too a literal one? Rolling stones or sailing stones or moving stones is a geological phenomenon where rocks move along a smooth valley without any animal or human force. They also leave long trails as they move. When visitors stumbled upon scores of heavy stones that appeared to have moved across the dried lake bed of Racetrack Playa in California's, leaving a telltale trail in their wake, scientists were baffled. How had so many boulders, some weighing 300 kilograms, moved as much as 250 m across this remote part of the valley? Adding to the mystery, some trails were gracefully curved, while others were straight with sudden shifts to the left or right. Who, or what, had moved the stones? A slew of theories emerged, from magnetic fields to alien intervention to dust devils to pranksters. It took a NASA scientist to crack the case. In 2006, Ralph Lorenz developed a kitchen table model using a small rock frozen in an inch of water in a Tupperware container to demonstrate ice shove, the phenomenon behind the mysterious sailing stones. In winter, Racetrack Playa fills with water and the lakebed stones become encased in ice. Thanks to ice's buoyancy, even a light breeze can send those frozen boulders sailing across the muddy bottom of the lake bed. Stones with rough bottoms leave straight tracks, while those with smooth bottoms drift and digress. Warmer months melt the ice and evaporate the water, leaving only the stones and their mysterious trails. These trails are visible in the United States at Death Valley National Park, California, and at Little Bonnie Claire Playa, Nevada. Fairy Circles, Namibia. The Namib Desert in Namibia is unlike any other desert. Across the arid grasslands of the Namib Desert lies an eerie sight, millions of circular patches of land void of plants, each between 2 m and 15 m in diameter, arranged in a honeycomb-like pattern across 2,500 kilometers of land. These disks of bare soil, known as fairy circles, pockmark the landscape in Namibia, as if giant moths ate through the vast carpets of grassland. Adding to the mystery, no one knows for certain what causes these otherworldly formations, but there's no shortage of theories. Scientists have suggested radioactive soil, or that toxins released from plants kills the vegetation in circular patterns. Others believe the circles are the work of sand termites. To store water, they burrow in the soil in ring-like patterns and consume the roots of vegetation to allow underlying grains of sand to absorb falling rain. Another hypothesis ascribes the circles to competition for resources. In harsh landscapes, plants compete for water and nutrients. As weaker plants die and stronger ones grow, vegetation self-organizes into unusual patterns. So, It can also be said that the complex ecosystem that results in such a bizarre phenomenon. Considering the eerie beauty of these phenomena, perhaps the most fitting theory is that of local Bushmen, who say fairy circles are nothing less than the footprints of gods. Sometimes, nature likes to mess with our heads by presenting natural occurrences too surreal to be true, yet they are. Keep an eye out. You never know when you could encounter one. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and please do subscribe and hit the notification bell to get updates of my upcoming videos. See you in the next video. Until then, keep learning, keep growing. Low-key Genius is over and out for today.